Armored Bear Productions. Welcome to Not Safe for Wizards, an actual play 5th edition D&D podcast. Welcome to the Not Safe for Wizards podcast. I'm Joe, the DM. Before we get started with the first actual play session, I just wanted to give you guys some background on the world that the campaign takes place in and the city that the characters will be working out of for at least the beginning part of the campaign. So the world is called Veltor, and Veltor was created by 3 sibling deities. The first of the deities, her name is Akenna, and she took up being the goddess of nature and the world. From her magic came all of the natural beasts of the world. The second goddess is Ibarra. Ibarra, unlike the others, is more introverted, and so she chose to take as her portfolio the afterlife, the world beyond, and secrets. So she's a little bit of a mysterious goddess. The last of the deity siblings is Teotl. Teotl came with their siblings and was deeply in love with their sister Akenna, and Teotl chose to take the heavens as their portfolio. Initially, Teotl was female, and they loved their sister deeply, but they saw the pain in Akenna when she was unable to produce offspring with Teotl. So Teotl consulted their sister Ibarra, and Ibarra, knowing some of the deep secrets of the multiverse, told Teotl to strike a deal with Chaos, which Teotl did. And in the process, Teotl became free of gender. They could be any or none as they chose. And so Teotl, with this newfound ability, sired a few children with Akenna. And Teotl also adopted as their portfolio not only the heavens, but also kind of just a little bit of chaos. So Teotl and Akenna had 4 children. The firstborn of their children is the god Adar. Adar saw the world that Akenna had made and noticed that there were only beasts, and so he came to his mother and said he wanted to make on the world creatures that could think and do things and make things and be more than just beasts. And with her aid, he crafted the intelligent species, starting first with the dragons and moving on down through to humanoids. And the second born is the god Vixtus. Vixtus was kind of a jealous younger brother to Adar, and as he watched Adar create the intelligent beings, he started to come up with an idea. And his idea was he would trick his mother into thinking that he was Adar, and she would help him with bringing creatures to life. Unfortunately, this brought monsters into the world. Vixtus, being curious, also went to his aunt Ibarra and inquired about what existed outside of the realm of Veltor, and in this process opened up gates to realms beyond, which has led to some incursions from outside. The next children that came from Akenna and Teotl are the twin gods Adros and Ivra. Adros is a studious god, and he decided he wanted to understand magic, and he has become the god of arcane magic, and he is basically the most powerful wizard ever, although he is a god, so kinda. Ivra, however, his sister, she decided she would rather use her skills, use her physical abilities to create things, and so she became the god of crafting and skilled laborers. There are two more gods in the pantheon, and these two gods are often referred to as the uplifted. The reason they're referred this way is they were at one point in time actually mortals. The first is the goddess Kempson. In her life, she was a general who led her people in many wars. She became renowned for both her tactics in battle, but also in her generosity in peace. She never was about punishing those who she fought against. She honored her opponents, and peace was very grateful. Many looked to her example and began venerating her, and eventually she was able to gain a bit of divinity and ascended as a goddess, and she became the goddess of war. The other uplifted god is Lemgir. Lemgir was a mortal wizard who realized that life was finite, and eventually he was going to die. No matter how many spells he used or how many potions he used to try to extend his life, eventually he was going to die. So first, as a wizard, he turned to Adros and tried to find any other spells that would give him permanent life. Adros, responding to this most powerful of wizards, said unfortunately he didn't know of any, but he directed Lemgir to seek the answer from Ibarra. Lemgir was pretty sure that Ibarra would not give up that sort of secret if Adros didn't have it. So he hatched a plan to try to seduce the goddess of secrets and what lies beyond, and was able to surprisingly pull off the seduction. Ibarra revealed the power of undeath. Lemgir basically became the first lich, which soured Ibarra, and as years passed, other wizards, finding out about his feats, began to venerate him, and eventually Lemgir rose to divinity as well, and he serves as the god of death and the undead. So that's the pantheon as it exists when the campaign starts. The races of the world, at least as the players will have encountered it, they all basically worship that pantheon. They may have different names, the dogmas may be different, but these are the gods as they exist right now. So the party will originate in the city of Grimsby. Grimsby is a city in the northern regions of Veltor. It sits on the Krava Sea. At one point, Grimsby was the capital of a great empire that encircled the Krava Sea that was referred to as the Kravan Empire. The empire did not last long, and Grimsby, instead of being sacked, just divested itself of its holdings. For some areas, it kind of remains the hegemony above it. So there are some towns that still kind of answer to Grimsby. Glau, which is a town that the first episode, the first actual session we did that we didn't record, but this is where that adventure started from, as they made their way to Grimsby. It's sort of like a feeder town to Grimsby. But there are other towns like Stonecast that are independent of Grimsby, but they have a trading relationship. Grimsby is a merchant city. It is a cosmopolitan city that sits where the Kupruth River meets the Krava Sea. Trade comes through there. Grimsby has not, since divesting from the Empire, ever had an expansionistic approach to things. They have been focused just on keeping up trade and growing far richer and more important. The only time Grimsby fields military forces is if they need to preserve trade routes, whether it's via the river or land trade routes. They don't have a big standing army. The standard operating procedure for Grimsby is if they need military might, they open up the coffers and they buy up as many mercenary companies as they can, including those that may already be in the service of another kingdom. The last war that Grimsby got involved with, the nations surrounding Grimsby had gotten into some major hostilities, which was threatening trade. Grimsby, like I said, very much about preserving their trade routes, bought up a bunch of companies and threatened the belligerents to either come to the bargaining table or be destroyed. Most of the powers involved accepted the invitation to the bargaining table. Those that didn't eventually were crushed by a united force. That last military movement was about 5 years ago. In the city of Grimsby itself, there is a council of ambassadors from all the involved parties that do their best to maintain the peace that was brought about, and it can be a little bit tension-filled at times, but that's Grimsby, and that's where we start. Time of year-wise for the start of this, they are starting at the very end of fall. Winter is approaching fast, and the winters in Grimsby are rough. Like I said, it's a northern city, and it sits on two bodies of water, so it doesn't get exceptionally cold, but the city does get snow and ice. So that's where we're at. So thanks for taking a listen to that, and here comes the first session. I hope you like it. Let's get started. Previously, we got together and played Jade, Orion, Dana.
Like Dana, but with an E.
There is no Dana.
Only Zool.
That's right.
Dana, Spike, and Chase worked a cargo detail. The last one coming from the small farming village of Glau to the city-state of Grimsby. They were hired by the Milgram family under the leadership of the teamster Aldo Gaunt. Aldo's sons, Delvin and Curtis, accompanied them as they transported Milgram's winter ale. The last bit of grain that they had harvested was converted into beer and was being sent to the Crown and Scepter Inn.
And we didn't drink it all.
You didn't drink a sip of it.
Speaking of conversions, those Gaunts are good Eldar-fearing people.
Adar.
Yeah, that. That's the one.
He's still a work in
He
progress.
was testing you.
Best paladin ever.
Hey, I used to go to church all the time and worship Christ.
Content warning.
Good old Jesus
That's
Christ.
it. That's the name of the show, right there.
The name of the show is Jesus Christ.
Is he related to former Governor Charlie Crist?
Yes.
I'm not taking the blame
I
for
thought guy's
any
name
of
was
this.
Charlie Christ.
That's why he was so popular.
Okay, I'd like to go on. He is innocent of this.
For now.
He is sorting
know.
cards
Yeah.
quietly.
Chris saves.
Right now, I'm not crinkling anything.
And now a mouthful of food.
So we have gotten to town, having fended off bandits from the Brothers of the Forest.
Yes.
And successfully delivered our ale.
To the Crown and Scepter, where you guys have a part of your payment beyond the gold was a week's room and board at the Crown and Scepter, as winter is setting in and Grimsby is a northern city, and soon the area will be gripped by winter.
Good way of dodging around saying that particular phrase.
What, winter's coming?
Winter's coming.
Mr. Martin, I'm a big fan. Please don't sue us. HBO, not such a big fan. Please don't sue us.
Summer is gone.
We're somewhere between autumn and spring.
Autumn is going? Is that our catchphrase?
And we can't say Spring Awakening because that's a musical.
It was the words of House Stirk. Autumn is going.
Oh, God.
You know nothing in frozen water.
Sorry.
While in Grimsby that first day, Chase and Spike you guys went and turned in the sashes for bounties.
Oh yeah, we gotta get our bounty money.
Denna took the recovered scimitars and sold them.
With
And-
Orient. And we tithed.
They tied. And then
I'm gonna teach Denna how to spread life. She's just about life spreading age.
and Jade, with the help of Chase and Spike, located a purveyor of poisons, a drow,
God, that was the best.
a drow named. God, I got something in my eye. Which is a really strange name.
Not for drought.
Lilith, I'll make something out of your
right,
corpse.
we got her poisoned from a purple mushroom.
Yeah, she had purple.
Purple mushroom poison. Purple mushroom poison.
She's got enough to cover like 3 darts. And I think that's where we left off.
I
So
believe that is the case. I think Chase was going back to his card game,
yeah.
if I recall.
So let's. So Lilith and Thorn, you guys had also spent some of the season working the security details with these 5. But you guys went down to Stonecast, which is on the river, and through Lilith's contacts, you were able to get yourself a job as guards on a barge coming up the river. Probably one of the last barges to come up the river before it freezes. When you get into what?
Ooh, we'll be able to ice skate soon.
At least on the river, the inland sea doesn't really freeze that much.
Too big.
Too big and salty. Although some parts of the harbor will freeze up, but you guys know in Grimsby, you don't want to stay down at any of the inns by the docks. They're kind of a rough trade area. You know, like behind them's where you might buy poison from a drow. Especially the Inn of the Black Dragon. So, you guys make your way as well to the Crown and Scepter. And it's been a couple days since you, the 5, got in town. And the proprietress, Lena Corvish, greets you as you come down in the morning for a morning meal. Okay, let's be honest, it's sort of like early afternoon.
Yeah. Gotta be steak and peppers. All I want.
Steak and tomatoes, because I this girlish figure.
It's a pretty good spread for the inn. The inn's actually in one of the better sections of the city. Lena is looking around at the group of you and now Thorn and Lilith, and she's well now. I would assume you all are going to be looking for some ways to remain here in Grimsby, or are you thinking of traveling on?
Pretty sure we don't want to be doing too much overland travel in the winter, so definitely if we can find a way to make some money here and stay on at least until the spring thaw comes.
I'm cool with just sitting here, not doing anything.
Parents, how much spice is in this town?
What?
Wintering in Grimsby.
I said, how much spice is in the town?
Oh, Grimsby is like a major city. It's it definitely has its seedy side.
That's neat.
So,
Oh, this could be legit work or not legit work.
We're not too picky.
no job's too small.
It's all the work of the Lord. Whatever his name is. Lord, what's his face?
Ikai.
Blessed be his name. Which I'm not sure the pronunciation of.
I will practice.
But it's a blessed name.
I will practice it for next time.
Or best.
Oh wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Inside voice.
Oh no, definitely worse. Definitely worse.
So what is everybody's plans for the day? How have you guys been spending your time?
Fruit. Sleeping.
Card game.
Reading pronunciation charts.
Card game.
Checking in with the courts.
Trolling the wharf looking for stories of undead pirate ships.
That's pretty good stuffing.
Is that what you call cock now?
Content warning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to take this seriously. I cannot work with this.
Sorry.
Are we having a diva moment?
Yes.
No, I would like to see if I can find a card game, not just for the gambling, but also because that'll give me contacts and help us find work for us.
So, fruit.
That took a minute.
No. It
That was a beautiful
It
slow.
was processing.
no. It was there, and it's like okay, everyone was kind of being descriptive, and I needed to go back to get clarified on fruit.
It's breakfast. I'm hungry.
It's a part of trees.
I
It grows on
understand.
branches.
Yeah, it bears seed inside of it.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I got it.
Tomatoes are one.
Yes, they are my favorite. Actually, I love tomatoes. I eat them like apples because they're fruit, not
That's
vegetables.
weird.
They make underbread out of them from
I-
loom.
Do you like
I
making
do.
fruit salad with
The
potatoes?
same way.
Isn't that salsa?
You said breakfast. I was hungry.
And then I said, "What are you doing during
Eating.
the day?" More general.
All day long.
She's a
sleeping.
halfling. That's
It's
pretty much
so
what
real.
she's
Yeah,
doing.
she's married.
It's normal.
Okay. All right.
Wait. So
First
you're on what 11sies now?
Yes, it's 11.
Hey, hold on. We've already offended one prolific author with an RR in their name. Let's not add another.
This one's dead. It's okay.
Son's
But
Too
his
soon,
son is
man.
not.
always too soon.
But he's so accommodating. Oh, never mind.
So anyway, Lilith was hungry, so she's having fruit, and yes, it's around 11sies, but she needs something to
Jade?
do.
Jade is hungry.
Jade, that's me. Hi.
Did she pay extra for those fruit in the dead of winter?
Is there?
Might have been a little fermented.
Is there
Someone tried.
big
Because
addition?
worse
Adderall?
Fall is going.
From the
Slow motion.
what were they called? What do you call them?
Half start.
Well, she had nothing else to do, so she's hanging out with Lena, whatever the hell her name is.
Lena,
Lena. She's
Oh,
hanging out
Lena.
with Lena.
Who's Lena?
I really want
the
it to be
proprietress of the Crown and Scepter.
Lana?
Now, by hanging out, it probably means that
Tom.
she's following her around and asking her weird questions because she has nothing else to do. But she's following Lena around. Lena's pretty.
Lena's like in her late 50s, early 60s.
So she can
That
still.
doesn't mean she's
that
not
doesn't mean she's
attractive,
not
Joe.
pretty.
Silver
And
fox.
she might know stuff.
She definitely knows stuff.
Yeah.
She knows that she really hates
Haven't
having
you ever heard
halflings
of a
follow
gilf?
her.
She's a cougar.
Joe, haven't you ever heard of a gilf?
Isn't that the thing from the Black Crystal, Dark Crystal?
Oh, good Lord.
No, that's a gelfling.
Okay.
That's a
I like
grandma
it.
I'd like to.
You make gilf.
That's contact warning.
That is not my grandma.
Oh.
We just saw her and she's
You
scary.
asked, okay?
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
careful
following
what you
Lena
ask for,
around.
Joe. We're gonna give it to you.
Lena, because we're looking for work, right? And Lena might know stuff. She might know where we could get work. I should ask Lena if we should go to. Hey, Lena.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Are you planning to leave the inn anytime today?
It's cold outside.
That's true. But, there's work out there, I'm sure.
Is there work in here? I could do work in here.
Well, I already have a staff that cleans and cooks. I really don't. And I don't know how you could get to the high spots for dusting.
I can braid hair. I can braid your hair. Can I braid your hair? Lena, your hair's really pretty. Can I braid your hair?
Well, we need affirmative action that moment here.
Yeah.
What do you mean she can't get to the corners?
We're talking about these people.
These are like some.
That's our word. These is our word.
I'll see if I can find something. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Orion, you were, other than learning how to pronounce the name of your deity, what were you doing?
I am going door to door. Can I get the church to send me with a couple of muscular, only moderately intimidating evangelists, he said with quotable fingers, to go maybe knock on some doors and preach the good word of somebody?
Well, you know what? They scrape up what they can find, because most of your faith is, they're focused in the smaller, backwater, undereducated,
simple
low
people.
information.
People of here are morons.
Are you going around passing out pamphlets of the looking spires?
Yes. That's me. I can't go inside though. I'm not going inside.
You know what? Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, you know what I can take instead of large, hard-hitting folk? Would it occurs to me since he's 19 and probably young, but a good influence for the upcoming kids is maybe some teenage kids who are willing to go with him, who are also like maybe on the football team.
You read the looking spires.
Sports ball?
So
Sports ball, right?
Sports ball kids. Do you want? You said persuasion,
Persuasion,
or
which would just be-
intimidate. It's the same either way. Now that I look at it. Oh, that's a 6. He's very young and fresh faced.
You knock on some doors and you get some doors slammed on your face. A lot of I already believe in Adar.
But more importantly, do you know if any of your neighbors are flirting? Fix this. Because anything you tell me about your neighbors stays between us.
Yeah. They're again, this being a very polytheistic, while Vixtus is known as the god of lies and god of treachery, it's not illegal to worship him. So folks, don't...
Oh, but it will be once I've killed them all. I mean, liberated them all of life.
Okay. Denna, you're going to the courts.
Check in with courtier friends of mine and the court friends of mine and see make sure that there's no demands on my name or anything like that.
Give me an investigation check.
18.
Any modifier on that, or
18.
Okay. Word that you are in the city and probably wintering here. There is a little bit of buzz about maybe having you come and perform for some of the minor noble houses.
We should definitely set it up.
You also hear some word that there is a new family that has been uplifted into the ranks of nobility.
Oh, who's that?
They're called the Thistle Spires.
The Thistle Spires.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
They are an elven family who have been due to their service to the kingdom of Grimsby. They have been upraised. They are actually supposed to be replacing a noble house that was excoriated a few years back. So like their possessions, their lands will be being handed over.
Do we know what the family name that they're replacing? But not important.
The Marshes.
The Marshes.
Yeah.
Did that happen to them because they were Vixtus worshippers?
No. That happened to them because they were strong opponents to when the king of Grimsby declared, came up with the plan to have the warring factions meet in the city. They felt that they were said to be imperialist sympathizers. They want the restoration of the empire that used to be. So they felt that Grimsby should have just continued hiring mercenaries and wiped out all competition. And taking a stand against the king, not a really good thing, and doing it very publicly, very bad for you. So you were going for card games. You were going for card games.
Oh no, I was gonna sleep.
You were sleeping.
I'm lazy.
Mark was going for card games.
Chase.
Chase was
Chase.
going for card games.
Chase.
And
Hunting undead pirates.
Lilith was hunting for. So Lilith,
And work.
give me an investigation check on your.
So do you want to think that? What you call it? 6.
Since you ask around and you get the ghost ships, oh, the sea's full of them, ghost ships, oh.
I just picture Lilith going, I knew it.
I will go into a rant of how all my friends and my mentor were murdered by, zombie pirates.
Now they're zombie pirates.
Are they ghost pirates or zombie pirates? Which are they?
They were corporeal, so I guess they'd be zombies. I got to.
Or were they pirate
I meant to look into.
Ghoul pirates.
I didn't have a monster's manual.
He
at the
just
time
saw
that
them
would
for a
be.
brief
Undead
moment when he
things.
was shoved into
Oh,
the
you got a good
thing.
look.
He didn't get a good look.
Yeah, no, you're
You didn't have time to stop and ask.
you're a
For all
little
he knows, they were
derided
vampire
for it.
pirates.
Ask,
Zombies.
man.
So my card player.
So my personal trait come into where I can't back down from a fight.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
They're not so much. They're
Okay.
They're kind of just pulling your leg, not not outright.
I'm gonna be back with my friends.
Actually, what day of the week is it? Because they have a weekly meeting down at the bounty hunter thing where they tell you all the new bounty hunters bounties.
That's my
that are
that's
out.
my character flaw.
I got a thing.
The roundup.
Question tonight.
Oh, I gotta find a better word.
No, you know what? It is posting day.
Posting day.
It's a guild meeting.
So my card players. So you're going 1 for the thrill of playing the game, but 2 also to
Network.
So give me a charisma check. Add your card your proficiency for your card playing to it. So add 2.
Play with the lies.
No.
No, you don't want to play that.
Off the table don't count. Come on now.
Looks high.
21?
All right, so you're doing pretty good.
Oh, sorry, 22.
You're up like 5-6 gold pieces. It's not a big stakes game, but you're also hearing about this the Thistle Spires. Apparently, they have a young well, not young, like a young. I want to say young somebody. He's in his. It's about your age. Well, no, because you're older.
Yeah, no, I'm like 30.
So like closer to Orion and the youngster's age is like 17, 18. Who's
That's very young though.
it's very young. Who's kind of going around town, kind of flaunting his new status, and there are some folks who are none too pleased. Plus, there are some folks who are a little bit attached to the, who are still a little bit of fans of the Marsh family, who they're not so pleased, especially about having this young elf come around and new moneying it.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody's gonna need a bodyguard and has the money to pay for it.
Ooh.
Sounds
Or
like
at least, I'm about to get a rich good friend.
sounds like someone needs to be robbed.
So what are what is your purpose for card playing?
My uncle let me a stipend. Another way to spend it, I'm going to hell.
Alright. Are you proficient with gambling? Any gambling implements?
No.
Okay. So
She didn't say she was good at it.
I'm up the 5 that she's down.
give me a charisma check.
I have 4 of the same card. Is that good? No.
You should fold.
You can't have 4 kings. How will you run a country?
You're kind of somewhere, and you're not really up, but you're not really down. It feels like the cards just aren't coming your way today.
I think
In your head though, you hear Tedril. you really should be doing something better with your time and resources than playing cards in this establishment. You know, you have access to such great powers. I don't know. You should be doing something. Maybe not something, you know, too big at the moment. But
You are right, Cagial. I am going to get up. I'm folding right now, and I'm going to go find him, and I am going to teach him the ways of the world.
Oy vey.
I'm not really sure. And at that point, the voice goes. Okay, Spike, you make it down to Bounty Hunter Central.
If it helps things, by the way, before you get into that, I was thinking that after he gets done putting in his time, that he was going to head down towards the card games anyway.
Okay.
Since he's got to check in and make sure that Spike is alive because Danger is following him. And also, it seems like, you know, Spike and Chase are often together, so it's a good chance to say.
And Thorn's gonna intercept him and save us both.
Okay. So the at the bureau of the Wanted,
Yes.
they're posting up some stuff and taking down some of the ones that have come in. And the big news, however, is that apparently the Gaunt, the teams, the Gaunt route, the run that you guys did was not the last caravan to come in, and a couple stragglers made it to the city gate, but that the Brothers of the Forest managed to get the whole shipment, but they also managed to take both drivers as hostages to hold for ransom. So the bounty on Benedict has been raised. He is now wanted at 500 gold pieces.
Is that the most? Is that the biggest one up there?
Yeah, it's one of the bigger ones. One of the big ones for an actual person. There's one for some sort of sea creature, supposedly in the inland sea that someone has put a bounty on him. But most folks believe that's kind of a most folks think that's kind of a lark, that someone's just
Ghost and a pirate.
no.
Someone say ghost part.
Okay.
I'll take that one off the wall. If not bother me. We're taking the sheet.
Hey. There's like plenty of Benedict ones up there. It's it's sort of.
Come on.
Take them all. We don't want competition.
Come on.
Hey, what are you doing?
I mean,
I'm giving these out to my friends.
I mean, Benedict is a known quantity,
Right,
so
right.
it's
Spread the rumor he's come out.
well, they're bandits in the woods. So they whenever they start getting chased, they just go deeper into the woods. And it also doesn't help that Benedict used to be part of the city guard, so he kind of knows how they do things. Terrible. Badly. Okay, so you were heading down to meet where they were playing cards.
Yes.
Denna, you're probably coming back from.
Sure.
So let's say you guys are all getting near the crown and scepter, kind of just sort of finding your ways, except for Miss Jade, who remained in the inn.
Can't be second lunch.
Actually, I
Foursies.
believe at this point it was tea.
Foursies.
Or is he? Yeah.
As you guys kind of meet up, so you guys can share whatever information you have gleaned.
There's no ghost pirates about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that still a thing?
It's always a thing.
So
Okay.
upon
these things I'm sure
coming
we'll find some.
back to the inn, you find Jade with a tea biscuit in her mouth and just finishing braiding Lena's hair, and she has all kinds of fun braids all over her head, and she probably looks rather perturbed. And she's, "Hi guys!"
It's a very put upon look Lena is giving.
Lena, you look so beautiful.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I'm going to get back to running my inn.
Yeah,
Yes,
train
we'll
her.
take care of her. It's okay.
How's everybody's day out?
Yeah, did you save anyone?
I would definitely like to point out that I am in full regalia, helmet on, because I think it's important that people see the majesty of the the righteous hand of
an idiot.
Adar. Yeah? Yeah! Not because it's intimidating or makes me look like a gigantic ass-kicking warrior, but because it's regal
I
and
see a
majestic.
smudge
and
on his armor. I use precipitation to wipe it away.
upholds the glory of Ida.
Dana, can you place spoons on his armor? That would be cool.
More importantly, anybody else hear about this new money family in town?
The Tristlebugs.
Thistlenuts.
Thistle Spires.
Thistle Spires. That's
They
the
go
One of
one.
those.
Crystal spires.
Thistle Spires.
We met somewhere in the middle.
Something.
Well, their son is apparently making quite a nuisance of himself in the streets, and I suspect he may be in for some gainful employment if we can keep him out of trouble.
Kill him?
Protect him.
Oh, I think
Jesus.
maybe we have to create
Language.
some trouble to get him to hire us.
I'm just saying, if we find him, the odds are good he'll be in trouble. And if we get him out of trouble, could keep us in this lovely inn through the
I've
winter.
heard he is in high regard with the royal family, and it would be good to have a favor that high up.
An extra good reason.
Does it pay?
Potentially.
What is the youngin's name?
It's a gamble.
They didn't get the young man's first name, but he is of the family.
I heard him referred to with a number of colorful terms.
I don't think we'll be hard to find him.
Okay.
Say it was Elvin?
They're an elven
He's
family.
Not
They are an elven
polite,
family.
so
But he's apparently young, not too far removed from Orion's age.
Oh, well,
Assuming you can judge elvish aging accurately.
I'm only 20.
baby.
They're like 17.
We're still the oldest.
Hey, you guys pulling out your plates from the corner? It's like a magic trick going.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you could throw a couple slices on my plate.
I was
for
gonna
me.
say clown
Is
car,
there
but
any
yeah.
Sorry.
bread?
Also
Pizza,
true.
pizza bread? Is there any cheesy bread?
Yes.
There's any of that mushrooms. I squandered my opportunity.
Joe, this is the part you're gonna want to edit out of this, in case you couldn't tell already. By the way, you look very handsome today. That's not for you, present Joe. That's for future Joe.
The beard is growing nice and full.
President Joe looks like a cat sitting at a computer.
I'm sure you're probably in the house. Wherever I am, just know I'm thinking of you, and I'm half hard.
Content warning.
Please don't kill me.
No, he's gonna edit this part out
I mean, I like to think that at
into
this
his
time,
spank thing.
in the future, I'm full hard, but it's not related to you. It's just maybe I'm doing something right now.
He's taking a college course.
Well, there are those college.
Thank you.
Education is sexy.
Oh, that's not mine. Thank
There
you
is that
first.
crazy lady.
Poor crime scene.
You said mushroom.
He's like,
Please.
finally, my trick to get my friends to tell the internet I'm sexy has been fulfilled.
Oh yeah, no.
Upload.
Definitely not
Link
tricking
to
anybody.
7 subreddits and 2 Imgur galleries, even though it's a podcast.
It's no trick, ladies. I am definitely not sexy.
Round 2 of pizza apparently had to happen.
Of course.
Well,
At
it's
least we're waiting
Porgies.
for
I just did mine silently.
It's Porgies.
Okay, so you all are sitting there in the in the inn, and it's say into the afternoon.
Chase. It's I have this new scroll talking about Adar, and I was wondering if you would proofread it for me.
I feel like you're interrupting some weird sort of thing that's going on. Might have some, I don't know. The narrative, is that right?
It's about the reading.
That's what I'm doing.
I'll look at your scroll later, especially if it's got a centerfold. But
I feel like you're already here, Bob.
It's my life.
Dana, can I braid your hair?
so what I would like to do, DM, Almighty DM, praise be thy name, is see if I can track down some information, possibly from Lena or some of the other customers in the inn, regarding where we might be able to find Mr. Thistlespire this evening. Possibly even maybe get his name.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
How old is this? Do we know?
What?
Around 17 to 19.
He's a young elf.
Very young.
just said
That was
dab.
not wonderful. That was a
Oh.
6.
Hold on. I know everybody in town.
You're kind of asked the wrong crowd, and they're like, oh, up jumped. Ugh.
Are they churchy people?
What?
Are they churchy people?
Might I suggest we should search brothels?
Very good.
He's a young elf with a lot of air.
That's my man. I'm going.
Every damn town we go into, all you want to do is search the brothels.
And look for ghost pirates.
I'm all for it.
Don't forget the ghost pirates.
What am I?
What, now you're looking for ghost
Investigation.
wars?
We
But
want
I've
to spread
got,
light.
whatchamacallit, ear to the ground.
Oh,
There's
okay.
your
Then you,
chance.
first
I
you
need to
find
go
out
and
that the
evangelize them about
young elven
the
noble's
folly
name
of
is
commerce.
There you go.
Gala.
Light leads you the way.
Gala. Hey,
See?
Dana. Wanna go on a date with Gala?
He has been coming. He actually has come around the Crown and Scepter, not this week so far, but he's usually in here one night a week. Or you can find him at the Inn of the Blue Rose. That's a little higher class establishment. But generally, he gets to be in there once a week, and then they get tired of him and kick him out and tell him not to come back for a week.
Fucking new money.
Yeah.
New money spends just the same,
Yeah, but he's obnoxious.
except often quicker.
That's pretty much he's obnoxious, and he's kind of making some regulars start to go look elsewhere.
He doesn't have that much money though that he can't.
Yeah, no,
Push his
he's
way
not.
through?
Yeah, no, he's not offsetting what these places are
Got it.
losing by irritating.
Especially not
regulars.
with his allowance.
Yeah, well, that's it, definitely. He's like on a stipend thing. He's and Lena, she kind of when you're talking to her, she's, he's not a bad lad. He just,
An idiot.
I was gonna say I'm uncultured, but it's hard to say that about an elf. But he just
He's an idiot.
he walks around like,
An elf? I can say that because I am that.
Only
Oh, okay. Alright. I never understood that. You can say it if you are it, but if
Right.
I say it, then I'm
You
racist.
can't yell.
Okay. I understand now. I finally get it.
But she's like, wait a minute, today is, you know what? He might be making his way here tonight. It should be. I didn't hear whether he got kicked out of the Blue Rose last night or not. I'm just going to assume that he did.
Well, I'm happy sitting here waiting for this.
Yeah, I mean, we can
Kid.
certainly spend the
He's
evening
in the
in and
blouse.
see if he shows
He's
up.
back.
Denna, I
Pop
believe, was on deck to
work
perform
that
for you
way.
this evening, right?
And you're talking
Yes,
to a young
yes.
lusty elf
No, Ginger.
with lots of money.
we don't walk that way.
I'm going to
You
hell. I
wanna-
work
I-
that way.
Sorry.
Did I buy the wrong thing?
No, I know you don't generally drink that though.
I wanted some. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, I just know you normally drink the other. I'm sorry.
She's drinking Pepsi.
God forbid.
Send us some.
I don't normally drink Pepsi, but I wanted
Turns
some.
out this is a Coke house.
I mean, it is
I mean,
actually
crack house.
pretty
Wait.
fucking criminal.
Listen, you.
Well, I'm just saying in case someone thought you
Yeah. We didn't know what
you were downing like a fifth of Jack Daniels or something.
Right?
Future Joe, I used GPS to get here, so you're gonna have to input the address of the Coke House for the listeners.
So, like, it got really quiet all of a sudden. It's like,
I know.
no, I'm sorry. It's like, in case you're wondering, she switched from ginger ale to Pepsi.
No.
For
We're all
one
outraged.
drink, and everybody
know.
loses their minds.
Had to put that out there.
Insert Heath Ledger meme here.
Oh.
Too soon.
Ooh. No, I thought it was
I
alright.
could have said worse.
That's true.
Anywho.
Anyway, let's not touch that.
Onward and upward.
Well, I've learned.
That was almost a
Or
challenge.
downward is
I'll go
okay,
for
baby.
up a little.
Nope.
Yeah.
Can I do your hair?
No.
Gonna do your.
Well, you're performing tonight, so
Yes.
As you guys are starting to, you're just hanging out, and Denna's starting to get ready to go up. You hear sounds coming from outside the inn.
Big people go find out.
do they sound like the sounds I made when that guy accused me of cheating?
It sounds like the sounds you would make if you hadn't talked your way out of that guy thinking you cheated.
No, I'm going out.
I'm gonna string my bow and say maybe we should head outside and see what this is. I would like to do so. Our room, does the window face the street
It does face the alley.
where we can hear the sounds coming from?
Yes.
I would
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to go.
So there's the street, and then there's an alley. Your room looks down into the alley.
Then I would actually like to go up to my room and use the window as a vantage point for my activities.
Okay.
I'll head out the front door.
I will go out and
You have to perform.
see what the fuck's going on.
I'll go out to keep her out of trouble.
Okay.
I'm still going out.
I'm gonna follow Chase because I've got things that can hit from the room too. If that's
Sounds like
okay
those pirates
with
to me,
Chase.
so I'm going out.
Do what you want to do, just don't block my view.
Sounds like
Spike,
Ghost Pirates.
Stay inside.
Okay, what
Save
do
her.
we see?
Guys, you can't hear what I'm doing. I put my feet up.
Okay, so going outside is Orion, Thorn, Lilith.
No, not Bill. Yeah.
Everybody
And-
behind me. Shield up.
Orion, Jenna, Thorn, Lilith.
Jade and Chase are going up to the room to look out to use
To
the
use the
window.
window as a vantage point
Okay.
/ like sniper's nest.
Okay.
I'm carrying my drink. Fuck this
I
shit.
think I like her.
What?
I think I like her.
It's not that.
Hail,
Jenna,
Rebel!
were you going outside?
Oh
as
yeah.
well?
I was
Okay.
the first one to say it was going
Okay.
out.
All right. So the Chase, as you and Jade get to the window, you see in the alleyway, looks like 5 guys given the business to a sole person.
Wait, given the business in like a pornographic sense
No,
or
no,
like
no,
a
I-
violent
Like in a
sense?
ghostly pirate sense?
Not that they can't be the same.
No, I mean
Is this
given the
horror
business.
show?
Specifically
Are
a
we doing
ghost
in like
pirate
a
pornography
50s
film
given the business.
with snuff.
Oh, all right. So like
Clockwork Orange? Is
just
what we're
kind
doing.
of
Bit of the ultraviolet.
bad talking him. And,
Bad
yeah.
talk, pushing, kind of,
Okay, all right.
And what does this person look like that is getting the business?
Give me a perception check.
Na, na,
Oh,
na,
it's
na,
our kid.
Please let one of the windows
It's our
break.
kid.
Please. No, I lied. Don't let one of the windows break. Because then I have to get up and do something.
That's a
about it.
13.
I rolled a 20 on the die,
Woo! You do stuff.
so that'd be 22.
Nothing, so 13.
I
You
got a
start well.
24.
You're not rolling because we're
I
not.
count as
Oh,
buttons.
I don't get that.
not yet.
Drunk.
From your vantage point, it's definitely a boy.
Ooh, it's a boy.
Ooh, it's a bull.
She can tell by the chub.
Hail, Rebel! What's this then? What?
You're looking, and why, it is a young male elf.
Super fancy clothes that seem somewhat ill-fitting.
No, well tailored, but gaudy as hell.
Oh, yeah. That's
Like bright greens and golds, and yeah.
Hey, what the,
That's our
Piss
dad.
off the regulars.
what the fuck's going on here?
What's going on, Mob? Why do you beat
Yeah.
this boy?
Let me get okay.
Rabble,
So
rabble.
the group of you that went outside, the 4 that went outside. So you see, there's like 4, like they could have been linebackers at a good high school football team,
Or like the Browns.
or the Browns,
That's racist.
the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, wait, it's still racist, though, right?
No,
I don't know much about sword.
Not.
You sound so disappointed.
And kind of like leading the shit talking is another well dressed. He actually appears to be wearing some armor even, with a fancy rapier on his side.
I'm gonna get me a new sword.
And he's like the his sheath for it is just beautiful with inlaid and
Oh, I
Compensating.
know what I'm doing here.
what?
Compensating.
And he's in the middle. We don't need your filth around here. You're all up jumped. The Marsh family was a great family. I don't know what His Majesty thinks putting you in charge, putting you in a noble position.
Yeah, says Orion. What do they think putting your family in? Oh no, wait. Yeah, I don't know who you are.
He turns. This has nothing to do with you, and notices that.
Do you intend to kill this boy?
I'm gonna like stagger up and be like,
I will put my hand out and kind of push her back behind me.
yep.
5-on-1
Mind
doesn't
that.
seem like fair odds.
You need to go away right now, or else bad shit's gonna happen here.
Give me an intimidation check.
Just like negative
Mirror her.
for slurring.
15.
Am I also intimidation checking?
You
19.
intimidating yet.
What?
19.
19.
I mean,
He looks and
geared up.
listen. From the looks of you, you are not of the same level. So, how about I buy you a round of drinks in the inn, and you leave us to take care of things here?
How about I make you stab your friend with that fancy sword of yours?
Yes, sir.
And a notorious sign of jumping the gun. How difficult do I think it would be to put an arrow either next to his boots or possibly even through his boot?
Like to actually hit him?
Not hit him.
Just his
I think she's
foot.
trying. Yeah.
Or next
Not
to his
quite
foot.
hit, no.
No, he's
He wants to
second-
deliberately miss.
Miss.
Um,
Deliberately miss.
I'm going to say roll with disadvantage. If you fail, then you're going to roll to actually hit him.
Yay!
Come on, you can do this.
So you want
We believe in your ability to miss.
Come on, you can miss.
Come on, miss.
Mark, you are notoriously not good at
Come
missing.
on.
Apparently I hit him.
What'd you roll?
no.
You roll with
let's
disadvantage,
see.
so it's a 4.
Disadvantage. You
With
take the-
disadvantage,
roll.
so it's a 9.
Alright, so now roll.
Damage.
Yeah, no, roll
No.
to actually hit him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not disadvantage.
No,
That's
that's
just
just right straight up.
also 10.
It's a weird angle.
Actually, I have sneak attack. Do I get the advantage on the attack roll because of that? Not sneak attack, but I have. Like,
Do you
they
get
have no
on
idea
sneak
I'm there.
attack?
Yeah.
You know what? Roll the advantage.
Okay, so that was a 10.
Sneak a not tack.
Yeah, that's a 23. I'm pretty sure I hit him.
Yeah, again, it's a weird angle, and as you're trying to get
Well, that was
between
easy.
his shoe, you catch him. So,
just his shoe?
That's gonna be 7 piercing damage.
okay,
And he's dead.
Think about it.
not quite, but
That's okay.
As soon
I
as
was
I
gonna
said
hit
the
him
arrow,
with,
I said, you know,
I'm-
you could have
I have
talked our
free
way
action
through
to
this.
speak, right?
I'm gonna take a drink
Yeah.
from my
Speaking's
beer.
always
Let me
fun.
ask again.
hold on.
I would like to punctuate my unintentional puncture with "It's time to go home," and act like I absolutely meant to do that.
Yeah, I'm also going with
I
the
was
you
gonna
meant to
do
do
this.
that bluff.
All right.
I'm taking
Where I
a
just
drink
point
of my
out
beer and being
Okay,
like, I told you.
give me an
Bad shit.
intimidation with advantage.
With advantage would make that a 14. Not terribly intimidating person.
He's kind of reaches down and breaks the bit of the arrow off of his leg, out of his leg. You caught him in like the thigh, and he's really pain. Guys, let's go get them up there.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna
as they turn around,
Dibs
you
on the
guys-
sword.
So let's roll initiative.
like us to call this out?
So everybody higher than an 11, stick your hand up. Okay, so Jade.
What's your initiative
19.
bonus?
It's your dexterity.
Oh, okay.
19. Chase.
22.
Holy
Spike.
13.
13.
Although I can't move
Oh,
until they come inside.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Lilith.
Um,
Well, I won't.
13.
Come inside.
13. Thorn.
You said 11, right?
Yeah.
11.
You had 11. What's your dexterity modifier?
what you got?
It's an 8 with a 3.
Which is a +3.
You have a +3.
Oh, so yes, you got 11.
It's a
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you might ask what's your modifier after you give the number for to break
okay.
ties.
Oh, okay.
So somebody else was an 11 also. Whoever has the higher
Okay.
modifier wins the tie.
Okay. Anybody have an 11 other than Thorn? Anybody have a 10?
We're gonna be a while.
Below 10. Orion, what you got?
8.
Dana, what do you got?
4.
19.
Oh, okay. You were.
Yeah, she was in the Go Cool group.
Makes me feel
I
much
was the
better.
cool kid.
Okay, so Chase, you see the noble gives his little command to his cadre. These 4 guys, like I said, the former high school linebackers, good high school. Like they may have even been scouted by a junior college or something.
Do I still have any kind of advantage for being clearly over them?
No.
Okay. So he gives the order to that guy. I would like to shoot that guy before he gets to take a step.
So one of his
The
thuggish-
one he specifically spoke to.
Oh no, he said guys.
Oh, okay. All right. Then whoever's closest to the door.
So they're in an alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are kind of blocking them from getting out of the alleyway at the moment. So any of them is fair target. So
Then that guy.
okay.
Number 4.
I don't think it matters too much. That is a wonderful 9.
Nope, your arrow unfortunately slides away, missing. Jade,
Yo.
you see the sight that's down there. The noble guy who got hit in the leg by Chase. He's kind of standing there. You notice though, as he's like as he puts weight on his leg, he's kind of grimacing. So that shot might have been a little better than you thought.
There's 4 guys, right?
There are 5 guys total. The noble and his 4 companions. Plus, there's the elf.
The guy that we're defending.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna take out my blowgun
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go after the leader guy. The one that's already been shot in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, blow the boss.
Are you using any of your magic darts, your poison darts? Or are you
No,
just
no poison right now.
Okay.
So that's a 19 on the die plus 5.
That's a hit.
Okay, so he takes and hits him in 4 points of damage.
And he drops.
Oh, lead guy drop?
Yep, the noble.
And as a free action, I lean out the window and go, "Can somebody get my dart?"
What did everybody do in response to the leader getting?
The 4 thug guys look up.
Right in the neck.
Yeah. And he's sort of like, oh. Alrighty. So that brings up Spike. You're inside, waiting whatever to happen. Lilith, you've got 4 thugs, and their leader has just collapsed.
All right. I'm going to
Lilith?
point at one of the thugs and cast Toll the Dead, which is a cantrip. So he rolls a... I scratched my bifocal. You point at one creature within the range and decide the damage. From that moment. Target must roll a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missed any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12, so 1d8.
Okay, so he makes a. What do I need to roll higher than? That's on your. Should be on your sheet.
Oh,
What's your spellcaster DC?
Yeah,
oh, that's I think at the top, right?
What's your proficiency?
Spellcaster DC is 13.
He fails it.
So he takes 2 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I say there's plenty of ghost pirates for all of us.
Oh, just a little touched.
Thorn.
Just a little bit. Only in combat.
Yeah.
Yep, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Cantrip. Okay. I'm not quite sure how to cast spells because I've never done it.
Already my shielded warhammer.
So to cast, I believe Eldritch Blast
It's
is
a targeted attack.
Yeah,
It
so
is
you
a targeted attack.
so you roll your
like a 20
Okay.
against whatever your target is.
Ew.
Okay, fine. And then you'll add your Dex modifier.
No, it
No,
should
it's
be it's your
charisma.
spell casting
Or spell
modifier.
cast the
My
attack modifier.
charisma, which is it's a 9, so it's a 9.
9. Okay, so nine misses.
Typically 10 is
Yeah.
what minimum most people have.
Yeah, I figured.
So
Then the noble doesn't go because he's dead.
Is he dead or unconscious?
We'll say for the moment he's unconscious.
I'm just saying, like, I could bring him back, and then we could get some money out of him because I didn't let him die.
I think it's about the money thing so much as it is the not
Killing a
ending up on the
noble.
city's shit list.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't really want to kill him.
I also do not want to kill him.
Kind of want to kill him.
Choose.
I don't know.
He's
Life.
down for the count. Let's do that.
Okay.
Better if he's a count.
Ha cha cha cha. I see what you did there.
So that means that brings up the thugs. Well, the one guy definitely does not like that you did your magic-y on him.
Bring it on.
So he pulls out his mace and comes.
Actually, the guy had blind.
I did not expect this.
Pepper spray everywhere.
Comes wandering. He comes up. Out of my way. Yes.
Because these guys never learned that when the guy giving the orders goes down, it might
That's
be
when
time to
you're supposed to
rethink your
leave.
life.
It's time to go home.
18 hits you.
Especially when your boss goes down before
And my armor class is 18.
Even with your shield.
Yeah, it was with my shield. It's 16 and then plus 2 for the shield.
Alright, so yeah, he hits you. You take 5 damage.
Apparently, I'm going to be casting Cure White Wounds on myself.
Just let the paladin touch you. He's real gentle.
I am trying to convert him to my faith.
I got your healing right here. Let the record show I made obscene gesture.
But not the one you'd
So,
expect.
Joe, my head points are 1d8 plus 2. I'm assuming it's 10 then?
Yeah, it's D8 plus your
There's a reason we don't
Constitution
video
modifier.
this.
Yeah, so plus 2, so 10.
Audio
so I have
release.
5.
And what is that reason? We should video this.
We really should.
No, we should not. Thank you.
Second
I'm just gonna
thug.
point it right
Yeah,
there.
point it
Yeah.
to him.
Second thug doesn't like the look of Orion with all that armor and stuff.
Banana.
For scale.
So he comes swinging at you, Orion.
What? Ah!
You weren't paying attention.
This doesn't need to happen. I say it to him.
Someone
Why is it always him?
Guess what happened, Orion?
Oh, Lord.
Got another crit?
If only I had known how to properly pronounce my god's name, I wouldn't be getting punished.
That's 9 points of damage.
Oh!
See what
Joseph
happens when
Hawk.
you call him a pussy. See? 9 points
Joseph
of damage.
Hawk. That's how you pronounce it.
That is the DM's name.
I was.
Because he's your daddy now.
I'd like to point out that Orion was distracted, telling that one Nobody needs to die
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Orion was
Get hit.
distracted. They
And then
had
I
him
got cold
flat-footed.
cocked.
The sun was in your eyes. We know.
we
Whatever.
know, we know.
I turned, I was like, surrender, and no one needs to die. Ow!
Well, see, now we have to kill him.
See, that's why I tell you have to kill people. And I take another drink.
I stagger.
Under
my helmet, I'm bleeding.
Also under
Badly.
Don't feel too good.
Watch as I turn the other cheek.
The second one comes up to you, Lilith.
Really?
Yeah.
He hates dwarfs.
Did you roll a 20? What the hell was that?
This is a
Yeah,
racist
he
fucking
critted you.
game.
However, their mace clangs off of your shield.
Okay.
Oh, is that how that's supposed to go?
You hear a voice from upstairs call down, "Stop blocking with your face, Orion."
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. My helmet is still making a gonging sound.
And does a 13 hit you, Orion?
No.
Okay. So you finally get the shield up.
Because his helmet's now stuck on his head.
Turned around backwards.
Okay.
What's happening?
So Orion, your turn.
I don't know what's going on right now.
He's just
Well,
Heal
you've been
yourself.
Oh,
Heal yourself.
you've been whomped by one of the thugs.
I, in slurred speech, yell out, surrender! Nobody needs to die here.
Oh
How
god,
many
he's
hit points
concussed.
do you have?
He's getting. Why is
Kill
it
yourself.
concussed now instead of concussion?
Kill yourself.
Next,
So why don't you make an intimidation check with disadvantage?
this season on Plate Armored and Afraid.
Do you need an extra 20 for this?
Sure, thank you. So, with disadvantage, I roll both and take the
Take the
lower.
lower.
Is that
Yeah,
right? Is that
correct.
how it works?
Double
Yeah.
20s.
Okay.
What was that bad?
13.
What's your intimidation if you have any?
13.
Okay.
My
Yeah, I got
charisma
it.
is super low, but I took intimidate, so it balanced out just being
So
no
they,
modifier.
so they looked at you and you're like,
Nobody. I'm staggering
that's
back up. Needs
that's a free action. So what do you want to do?
dire. How close am I to the leader who took an arrow to the knee?
Oh, he's dead. He's down.
He's down.
Right, but how close am I
You'd
to
have
him
to move past.
if I were to go heal him?
You'd have to move past these guys. You can make
Don't
your
worry
move,
about
but you'd have to move past these guys, and they will.
Right.
Just let me.
They will make you their pinata.
Heal yourself.
Just let me
Heal
touch the young
yourself.
boy.
All right.
Physician,
Please.
heal thyself.
Yes.
I lay
Choose
hands
life.
on myself.
Does it always have to go down the front of
That's
your
where
arm?
it hurts.
God damn
Right
it,
on
Rubens.
my head.
Damn it, Paul Rubens, get out of the theater.
Okay, Den, you are up as.
I'm gonna shrink.
Does that
Everyone,
intimidate them?
Stop! Lilith, Thorn, get Thursby inside. You four, help me take your friend out of here. Do you all want to go to jail or end up dead?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Diva.
24.
Nice.
The thug's kind of like. Ooh. So Gala kind of picks himself up and is like, inside. Okay, all right. The thugs look over and they're like, I think you might be dead.
I'll walk over. I'll cure light wounds him.
All right. You manage just as he's about to slip off into the afterlife to bring him back.
I'm gonna pull him out of there immediately though, and be like, "Look, we need to get you home."
I actually have a spell for that.
Of course you do.
It stabilizes you.
With spare the dying.
I don't have
yeah.
stabilize though.
No, the one you get the one kind of you healed who was bleeding was kind of gets up, pulls the dart out of his back.
Can I have that back?
Gonna need that dart.
Thank
He
you.
looks at the group of you and looks up at the window. You haven't heard the last of me.
Ghost pirates want to die.
I'm walking over and snatching that fucking dart.
Well, since
You
we're
know-
all saying stupid shit,
Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Leave the sword, take the douchebag.
It's not too late to get on a different path in life. Go to church.
Go to temple.
So the thugs and him kind of stagger off. Well, he's staggering there.
so Bonehead, the thugs, and Harmony take off.
Yep. Yep. That was good.
And this was the first and last episode.
Chase Master Parts mysteriously dies in a fire accident. Nobody knows what happened.
That's okay. I got backup sheets for my backup sheets.
His name is Pursue, and he see what it is. There.
No, my next character's name is DM. He thinks he's a god, but he's not.
So it's gonna be 4 years of you fruitlessly doing nothing while people run amok.
Heart you, Joe.
Okay, so Gala Thornspire goes with you all into the inn. Thistlespire.
Yeah, that.
Like to go down to meet up with everybody and
Buy us a drink.
So Spike, you see Orion come in with his helmet now well dented.
Now somebody help me get this off.
That cost you 5.
we're good.
Lilith is taking a little bit of a hit.
I took a big ghost pirates.
So apparently
Lilith
you're
is
the
Max
victim
Headroom.
you're the victim from a Scooby-Doo. The one who attacked you, ghost pirates.
Ghost
took my-
pirates!
Oh
Ghost pirates? Rural Raggy?
Shit, that means Orion is Fred.
So I'm really gonna need a monster manual so I can find out what the fuck a secret creature is.
I'll suggest some to you.
We'll figure that out. Okay.
So you guys had fun?
I don't see how any of that's fun.
It was fun.
I don't think that was a party.
Watching Orion get the shit beat out of him.
Jade comes skipping down the stairs. I hit a guy, I hit a guy, I hit a guy.
You're like 3
You-
kills.
Killed a guy, just about.
What's wrong with your head?
You almost.
That dead
The helmet is still. I still get
and the
it.
dead transferred through.
Jade climbs up Orion's back, puts her
Oh,
feet
get
on
over
his
there.
shoulders, and starts yanking at his helmet.
Ow!
Give me an athletics check.
And now I'm dead.
I have a crowbar.
Just like Darth Vader in something dark side.
Took back a little bit of health.
I'm starting to wish I'd taken men.
That would be that
11.
last point.
Yeah, it's not budging. You're pulling.
Take the chin strap off.
It's a whole
While
weekend strap.
this nonsense is occurring, I would like to go introduce myself to Gala.
That way.
While they're wrestling that, I would like to go up
So,
and introduce myself to
As you're coming over, Lena's already like pouring him a rather large goblet of wine, and he's. I cannot believe it that I was accosted like that. And Lena's like, well, there's some people who have bad feelings about your family in town. You might want to, be a little more subtle.
Bodyguards help too.
Are they at the
Hi,
bar?
Chase.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you. Glug, 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 glug.
I sit down on the other side of him.
Oh, I didn't see you. You were in the window with the arrows.
Spike
I'm
was
walking
nearby.
on over there. I'm like, hello.
Oh, I forgot it's a screw top.
No. I already got you laid on your back about the croquet mallet that helmet off.
What part of him are you hitting to croquet mallet off the helmet?
Right under the chin strap.
How he heals.
Thanks.
Damn, so he can heal it.
I'm gonna convert you to my god one way or the other.
Touche.
You cut off his head. Can you put it back on later?
Then he becomes a
Technically,
ghost
I'm a
pirate.
necromancer. I really could.
He could do that.
You're just trying to raise a family.
I have an app for that. And you know what I can finally do? Make a spider monkey.
Oh.
So 2 things. One,
Airship.
one,
Airship.
Gave
it
up
might
on it.
help us out having taken these actions on your behalf. If you could, maybe use some of your family's influence to make sure that we don't end up in the stockades for it.
Oh no, definitely.
Bruh.
If what?
Oh, definitely, bro. It's not like a bro. He's not good.
No, he's more effete than that. Like that word, effete.
So not a bro, just a douche.
Yeah.
Is he a Chad?
I feel like a Chad's a bro.
That's a bro.
Chad's a bro.
Chad's a definitely bro.
He's a lance.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Oh man.
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
fuck him.
Love Lance.
No, we stab Lancers.
This is out of character. Don't badmouth the paycheck. Okay. Moving on.
Oh no, definitely. If Lord Barrow should happen to be bringing any sort of charge, I will definitely have my family speak up on your behalf. I mean, they were accosting me for no reason. Those men were going to probably kill me. Probably.
No,
Entirely-
Definitely gonna kill you.
Yes,
It's entirely
they're
likely.
definitely gonna
Oh,
kill you.
you shouldn't be walking around with pointy ears.
It's like a 96% chance. Don't worry, Spike's racist. It's okay.
I'm not racist. I can say those things. I'm half that.
No, it's still very racist.
I'm
Even for
telling
half.
you.
You're
Wait,
half.
you said that
There
if
there
you
was
were
a
in,
90,
you could.
100%
I
chance they
spilled
were
my
going to
beer
kill
out
you.
there.
Now I don't get it anymore.
think you owe me a new one.
I mean, do you look more elf or do you look more white?
I'm also down in Arrow, actually.
Oh God.
I'm just trying to decide if it's okay for her to say those
We
things.
so
Him to say those things.
Fuck, we went there.
Okay.
Hang on just a moment.
No,
Our illustrious dungeon master is trying his best not to choke.
I do know the Heimlich.
That's what you
How will I help?
So wait.
bring you
He
back
makes
as a
that
spider
comment, and you
monkey?
start talking about the German families, you know?
Yes. Oh. Never mind. I'm going to tell you a story later.
Okay.
About Michelle
So
and the
we're
doctor.
talking to Bella.
So yeah.
Gayla?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, let me get drinks for my new friends. Drinks for them. Yes, drinks for everybody. Whatever you want to
Oh,
drink.
you
drinks.
were my kind of
The
guy.
usual, please, Lena. Lena knows that when I order the usual, let me and stick that cash into the bar and we'll split it later.
Ah,
Crispy.
nice.
Yeah.
What are you, a stripper?
No, I'm
He's
a magician
con man.
and a gambler.
Yeah. Man of
Not a
my
con
own
man.
heart.
No, you drink crazy.
I'm not a crooked bone in my body.
Yeah.
One curves a little, but
That's great.
Scoliosis. And you didn't catch it when you were a kid.
you can get scoliosis there?
It's called scrotiosis.
Oh God. To a con man, you don't have
Yes,
to be
we are
crooked.
all children.
Mark, that's not actually a bone.
I know a half drow.
Maybe
smart.
yours isn't.
I know a half drow elf that can fix that scrotum problem for you. So just sew you a new one on.
So anyway,
I don't need to be part goblin.
It was ogres.
Oh God.
Wow, that's an estimation. So Gal's like, you all look up to be of a tough sort.
Oh yeah, we're tough.
I would say so.
I'm tough.
You nearly killed that person.
We wouldn't have killed him.
She's short but powerful. She packs me.
You fight.
Ah!
Yay!
Where'd your ears go?
I didn't have to make it one.
You got
Hold up,
cauliflower
somebody
here.
Somebody pinch his nose and blow in his mouth.
I'm not falling for that again.
Well, you would make a very impressive retinue, and would definitely make Lord Barrow.
My lord. Between you and me, it sounds better when you say entourage.
Entourage, not retinue.
Entourage. More esteem.
More esteem. An entourage is greater than a retinue.
Yes.
Okay. But as I was going to say, my family, now that we are inheriting the holdings of the former House of Marsh, we are in need not just for security means, but we are supposed to be taking possession of Marsh Island. There is an island off the coast of the city that belonged to the Marsh family. There's a small keep and whatnot, and hunting grounds, and no one's lived there for a few years now because of the the whole excoriation thing. So my family was hoping to find folks who might go out there, check things out, make sure things are not infested with God knows what.
Ghost pirates.
Maybe ghost pirates.
That sort of expedition is definitely well within our means, although I'm not. It wouldn't be cheap.
Oh well, as you know, my family is a noble family and all. I believe we can probably come up with something to I mean, I know one of the things we had talked about was in clearing out the keep, if there were items in there that you wanted to, if you felt like taking, we don't want anything of the Marsh family. If there's anything left of value, the people who went to clean it out, that would be theirs. So, how about on the morrow, you meet at the villas that my family is staying in while we get ourselves better established here, and you'll meet with my father, Palin. And he will be able to talk better numbers. But I will definitely be putting in a good word that you are the sort of trusting people that this job would be good for.
Excellent, most excellent.
And with that, I think we're going to end. So, yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
I don't have anything to do till 1, so
That makes one of us.
But that's where we're gonna stop for the night.
You
Well,
have
nice
about
glass of strawberry
5
wine.
minutes of usable content.
Hey,
No.
hey.
I think we behaved ourselves very well.
Wow.
We did not behave ourselves.
So
Do
we should
not
probably-
lie.
I mean, we behaved ourselves by our standards.
Yeah, I was
By
gonna
our
recommend
standards,
the
by
same
ours very
thing.
well.
I'll walk him home.
Okay, I did
If you
behave
get a half an
myself.
hour clip out of it, I
I
think
did.
it's a good
Every other
podcast.
word wasn't a curse word.
That was just Michelle did not curse every other word, so we should be very proud and very happy.
Yay,
The only
Michelle.
other better time was when I was on the Disney cruise.
And it wasn't that good of a time.
I did teach some
'Cause she-
little kids
Oh
some
my
words.
God, it's Mickey fucking Mouse.
It was just like that.
It-
His mom would not take us on a Disney cruise for the longest time simply
It took
because
my
of
mom
mouth.
dying for Michelle to go on a Disney cruise.
Oh my god.
Simply because of my mouth. She was
Because
like,
she uses the F word more than she knows because she doesn't realize she's using it. Oh, and also, is
It's
that
not
off?
a swear
That's
word,
not
it's
it.
just punctuation.
Oh.
thank you.
I gotta tell you about the doctor today.
It's the best
Okay,
word.
Okay,
It's a
so-
noun,
What?
verb, adverb, noun. it's
So
I will walk him home.
so he will make his way home, and that's where we're gonna end. And hopefully we'll get some good stuff out of this.
Stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Yay, good team.
With
I think content warning is definitely
We need
become
30s guys to with the
Yep, definitely.
on the furthering
Not
adventures.
safe for
Might
wizards.
get some.
Content warning, not safe for wizards.
Yeah, I think I have to agree on who should sign us off here.
Pete, we need 30s new.
Oh. And from not safe for wizards, may Idar bless you all. Wait, is that his name?
That's his name.
Okay.
Now,
Hi there, this is Joseph the DM. I hope you're enjoying the Not Safe for Wizards podcast so far. If you are, I'd love to ask you to do a couple things to help build the show up. One, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, preferably 5-star, but hey, I leave that up to you. Second, follow us on social media. The links to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are in the show notes. And thirdly, share it with your friends. Let them know about the podcast and have them take a listen. We look forward to entertaining you for a long time to come. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Hi, thanks for listening to that episode of Not Safe for Wizards here on YouTube. If you would give us a thumbs up for a like, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the notifications bell. That way you'll always know when Not Safe for Wizards is putting up a new episode. Thanks.